Hi guys, this is Fabian from Bleeding in Comics. Just a quick video. I want to see how much of this I can ink today before going to work. Kind of had a late start today. Completely forgot to put on the glove so I don't leave like marks on the monitor. I've had this glove for so many years. I've used it so many times. It was a birthday gift from a friend of mine a couple of years ago. I'm not trying to be too clean with the lines because everything's just breaking apart. And I think I remember mentioning that in a live that I did about 2 weeks ago, I think. I'm not too consistent with the lives because my time doesn't allow it most of the time. But if things are just breaking apart, you don't have to be too clean about it. You just draw it, try to make it make sense. That's the best way to put it. Like, don't just draw pieces just to draw pieces. It has to be organic to what its original shape was. You don't just want to like draw stuff and like, oh wow, just destruction, I'm just going to draw whatever I want. No, it has to, aesthetically, it has to match what you are working on. Let's see what we got. The screen is going crazy right now. Got too much stuff going on. Let's see. I think the battery just died on my Galaxy Tab on this thing. It was working like 2 seconds ago, but the light's been blinking on and off every once in a while, which tells me that I have to change the batteries pretty soon. Or I should have just changed it already. Let's see. Either that or I like accidentally turned it off without even realizing it because I was holding down something. I used to have a habit of holding my breath anytime I would draw. I kind of got out of that, so breathing normal. I don't know if with hands, not the best at it, but I make do because I try to make sense of what it's supposed to be. I can see like my camera thing is going a little crazy over there because I'm wearing black. It's trying to black out the background, so it's not working too good. I want to try to be more consistent with these videos, honestly. I want to try to do as much as I can. But like I was mentioning before, time is not always on my side. I try to do when I can, the best I can. I'm not the best orator either. I tend to just ramble. Let's give this guy some hair. And let's see. Clothes should be ripping too. I'm like a big fan of Saint Seiya, and this is where I kind of got the idea how to draw rips on clothes. Just put them randomly in certain spaces. Crazy thing is I'm gonna have to tone all of this stuff later on. That's the most time consuming. You're gonna hear some noise in the background. There's not much I can do about that. I live near two main streets, so there's always cars constantly going by. Gotta breathe. Alright, make the brush a little bit smaller. So I think I did turn off my Wacom tab by mistake, because it's been running fine this whole time. If you're using Clip Studio, it's a great tool to have. It saves you a lot of time from looking at the keyboard and doing like keyboard shortcuts. I'm not getting paid to say this. Kind of wish I was, but that's just the reality of it. This guy doesn't have that much damage on him. I think he was like further back. I don't even know how long ago it was since I drew these pages. I tend to do them in bursts, because for this is I think chapter 19. This is the second page of that chapter, and then after that I have to draw chapter 20, which I haven't even like started. I have the actual thumbnails done for a lot of my chapters. Actually, the thumbnails are pretty much done. Alright, that came out bad. I was in a hurry. Like, I love drawing thumbnails really quick. They don't have to be precise. For another comic I'm working on, I'm kind of using the Rob Liefeld method. I'm just scanning in the thumbnails I've drawn, and I'm just using, and I just use that. I just blow them up, and then I draw my pencils over them, and then ink and color it. That comic's gonna be full color, just in case you guys wanted to know. Now, the reason I went about that is that I'm working solo, so I need to figure out shortcuts or quicker methods of trying to do things, so I can progress quicker on the titles. Like Psychic Revolution is just strictly a black and white comic. It does have gray tone that I'm gonna have to simplify also. Like, the first book is on sale in the TikTok shop, and I really went into like a lot of detail when it came to toning, but it's very, very time consuming. It looks great, but again, when you're on your own, you have to try to divide your time up the best way as possible to get things done in an orderly fashion. If you hear all that rumbling in the background of somebody that's like just having their car idle, there they go, now they're moving. I wish I could have a soundproof room, but it's not possible. I'm a part-time caretaker for my dad, so I need to make sure that I can hear him if he's calling me for anything. So I just can't have like the soundproof plates up, because that'll be negligence. I gotta make sure I can hear him if he needs me for something. Other than that, I also have I have a job in the evenings, because I do have aides that come in that take care of them while I'm out. And that's kind of why my time is kind of tight, because I have to make sure I take care of what he needs, any phone calls, anything about appointments, stuff like that. And then I gotta help my mom out. She's here with them when the aides come in. So I gotta make sure everything is set up before I go. And yeah, it eats up a lot of time. I'm not ashamed to say that I have to be there for them. Not a lot of family around that's nearby that can help out. That's why when I get a chance, I try to jump in and do as much as I can. That's why some people found it crazy that I drew the first 3 volumes of this comic right away. But what they didn't understand was that it took me close to 10 years from planning and execution. This is not easy. That's why whenever you're talking to an artist about creating something, don't lowball them. Be reasonable. This takes time. I might be moving fast because this is my own work. I know where my lines are. I know what the characters are like. I know what gestures I need for them. But when you're working with somebody else and they have their own aesthetic and their own way of wanting things, you tend to go a bit slower because you want to match what they're asking for. That's why I kind of like always hate it when people are like, well, I'll give you exposure if you can do this for me for free. Like, no. This takes time, it takes energy. A lot of thought goes into what you're doing for you to be doing it for free. And it's kind of funny when you talk to other comic artists, they'll be like, well, what did you get into this for? Oh, passion of the art. I love what I do. Like, yeah, that's true. But honestly, for me, I would love to have this as a living. That way, I don't have to worry about running out, having to take care of another job, having to deal with other things. I can focus on this, focus on making sure my dad gets what he needs, be here for his appointments when he needs me, and then I can just jump back into creating. Let me zoom out on that, fix this. So that's all 3 characters for this. You can tell I started in the middle. When I ink, I tend to always start in the biggest area. Then I work my way around to the smaller areas. But that's enough babbling for now. Catch you guys on the next one.